Well, good afternoon. Happy Stampers. How is everybody today? I just noticed I didn't have one of my lights plugged in, so I'm plugging it in. Welcome to my Happy Stamping Studio. My name is Judy Anderson from judystamps.com here in the United States. And I'd like to welcome my live viewers as well as those of you watching on replay, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. I love bringing you guys ideas every Tuesday here live for this live free class. So as you come in, say hello. Let me know you're here and let me know what you're doing today. How many of you are stamping? How many of you are enjoying the outside? The weather is beginning to change here in Illinois. That's where I am located. Our August nights are cool and getting damper as the month goes on. We're mid-August, and many of the schools start next week. Are your kids, if you have children or grandchildren, starting school next week? Or when do they start? Let me know. So today we're doing a fun card. I am loving the Round We Go dies that goes with the Round We Go stamp set. And this Hearts and Hugs stamp set is just simply adorable. I just love creating with it and wanted to share it with you guys today. So this set, it can be used for just about anything. If you're in my sketches program, you got a bonus scrapbook page this month um, with the sketch. I converted the sketch to a scrapbook page. So if you'd like some information on my sketches program, let me know. Just shoot me an email at judy@judystamps.com. And Judy is with an I. So I think that the stamp set is just simply adorable. You can use it for a zoo layout or anniversary cards, birthday cards, and when Valentine's Day comes around, I know it's a little ways away, this would be a great set. I am just loving these walruses. I think that is my favorite um, image in the stamp set. Although the mouse and the gerbil or hamster, whatever you want to call it, comes in a close second. And then these badgers are just so much fun. And then it also comes with some sentiments. It is a 10-piece set, and it does come with some coordinating dies. Now, we are going to be using the mouse image today, and we're going to be cutting out um, some of the other dies. So besides cutting out the images that are in there, you get some hearts, some flowers, some stems, a banner. This heart is kind of cute. It's like kind of like this guy is juggling hearts. Um, and so I just loving that. And here is the Round We Go stamp set. This stamp set, oh, something just fell. Not too sure. Oh, my camera. Um, it has these fun images in there that can be used for flowers, for just all kinds of things. It's just such a, I don't want to say retro, kind of trendy, fun um, set that you're going to find yourself using a lot. My clients that have purchased this said they can't believe how many things they can do with it and the coordinating dies. So the coordinating dies cut out some of the images. They put whole elements in some of the images, and you can create a lolly. Now, a lolly is if you, I want to say about, oh, well, forever ago, let's say, you could create these pinwheels, and you'd have to sit and score and cut and glue and stuff. But this die does it all for you. So we will be using that die, and then I'm going to be cutting out image to use with it. Oh, did I lose you guys? I hope not. So, and then the Round We Go stamp set, and we're going to be using a verse from one of the stamp sets. I'm not too sure which, so that's why I listed. Now, both those can be purchased as bundles also, so you save 10%. And right now we have a 15% on off on many of our designer series papers, the two papers I'm using today, which is the 2024-26 in colors and the Full of Life. Now, I would not have to use the in colors because the Full of Life has two sides that you can use mix and match, but I like stripes, and so that's why I went to my in color pack of 6x6 paper. We have balmy blue paper and some fresh freesia paper. So I'm going to do all my die cutting first, and then we will go to the rest. So we are going to do our, what I call lollies. Some people go, what are lollies? Pinwheels, but I just call them lollies. Oh, I had somebody using my, at the Scrapbook Expo, and I want to thank all of you that went to the Scrapbook Expo this weekend and stopped by and saw me here in Illinois. I enjoyed seeing all of you guys. Hoped you liked the little treat that I gave you. I know some people said, oh, great, I need some energy. So the treat came in handy. So I am just putting these in here, stair stepping the plates so that it goes through easily. And it just goes through butter, like butter. Now, I do want to say, because I did hear from some people that they were having difficulty with their machine while they were there and asked me to show them exactly how to stair step this. So it doesn't have to be a lot. I just stair step it to where the little, not curved, but angled spot is. I put my card stock on here or my designer series paper, and then my die goes on next, and then I stair step this one. Now, if you are still having problems with your mini machine, being it might be too tight, they did have a few, not many, that needed to be recalibrated. Oops, I can't get this through. Hang on. My stair step didn't stay stair stepped. So let's do that again. Just call Stampin' Up. They'll take care of you. Believe me, their customer service is great. They back all their products. I'm just having trouble getting it through. The first one went through so easy. Let's get this again. Here we go. So while I was there, I actually had somebody stop by and say, do you have any of the plates? I brought my mini machine because it's so handy to take with me when I go to crops and go places. However, I forgot my plates. And unfortunately, I didn't have any plates there. I can't sell them anyways there, but I let her use mine, and she cut 20, 40 pieces with it. So more pieces to cut here. We are going to cut our little flower stems and leaves. I'm just going to tear this off. It's just a scrap piece of paper. What I love about this die, it's small enough that you can use your scraps. Just fit it right on there. Place this down and just start it. And it should be a little bit harder than slicing through butter. But it should be fairly easy to run those dies through. So once again, if you have any issues, just contact Stampin' Up. They will help you. Next, I'm using fresh freesia for the flowers. I guess I should have stamped my little mouse before we started here. So I could die cut it also, but we will do that a little bit later. We're going to put this on here. Just cut that, put it to the side. And one more, and this is our little center. And we're going to cut that out of basic white. Got my scrap here. Let's put that on. And you can see, as long as it's stair step, like this one is like a major step, as long as they don't go in even, you should not have any problems using your machine. Okay. Before I put my machine away, I am going to, oh no, I'm going to go ahead. I like to color before I cut. How many of you like to color before you cut out your images? Now, how many of you cut out your images before you color to make sure that when you do cut it, it cuts right? Oh, let me hear from you all. Let me know. Oh, I've got one person who likes to cut before she colors. I need to get my stamp out, and I am using the little mouse today because he fits on this pretty well. We're using our Memento ink. I use Memento ink because I'm going to be coloring with our Stampin' Blends, and I am today going to be using gray granite for my main mouse. I will be using the light and the dark. Okay, plus I am using Berry Burst and light, pretty, and pink. So make sure I got gray granite. Okay, so I am going to start with my light gray granite, and I am just going to go around mostly the edges on my image here. Just go around and bring it in. I am leaving white space, and you will see why in just a minute. This helps with our shading. Just right up there. You'll notice that I do use the bullet tip and not the brush tip. You could use either. It's totally up to you. Now I am using the dark gray granite, and for this I am using the brush tip because I want the line just a little bit narrower. I am just doing some shadowing right here where I would have shadows on my image. Right here, we're going to go up a little bit. Okay, and you can tell that it's just a little bit. And I just do a little bit of light strokes. Oops, that one's going to make him look like he has a mustache. Okay, and now what I do is I go back with my light, and I'm going to blend out that dark so it blends a little bit, and then I'm going to go ahead and go across the entire image. And what that's going to do is that's going to give those lighter areas. So I know some of you tell me that you like to use your color lifter, and you can use your color lifter for this. I just find that it's a little bit easier and less time consuming to do it this way. Okay, so we're going to give him a little pink nose. And we're going to do pink in his ear and pink cheeks. And then I am going to do the edges of the heart. And then once again, take the brush tip and shadow that in. There we go. Yeah, I know. Okay, I'm getting quite a few of you say that you cut it before you color, just for the reason that I said, that because you find that if you color it and then you cut it off, you don't want to have to redo it all. I'm pretty confident in my cutting, so I don't worry about it. Okay, so there's our little mouse guy. See those little pink cheeks? Personalize your little characters, you guys. You know, give them pink cheeks. You know, I could have given him a little mustache. You know, that would be kind of cute if this was going to be for a guy. Okay, so let me get my mouse die, and I'm going to place it on here, just where I want it. Okay, take a deep breath. I put the tip into the machine and keeping it up a little bit, push it in, and then I slap it down. And a majority of time, my die does not move. Now, I would not do that if I had more than one image on here that I was cutting out. And voila, he's cut out. Look at that. I don't know why. I think I like to color first because I have more paper to hold. Okay, we're going to take our die, and this is got already the score lines. So we just have to fan fold this very quickly. And now when I go to put this together, I could use either the scalloped edge on the side or the pointy edge. That's what I like because they give you two edges to choose from. Okay, I just give that a little squeeze. Now, when I glue this together, I am going to let you know that a lot of times I will use hot glue because hot glue will dry up quick and it will hold it. It's not going to fall apart. But on a card like this, I will go ahead and use my tear and tape and my liquid glue. So I've got it folded, so I'm going to take it apart. So you have two ends that have tabs and two ends that are just flat. Your tab is going to go onto this end here. So I am going to get out my silicone mat and then my tear and tape. I have finally broken into a new tear and tape. I don't know, this stuff just seems to last forever. I just have to find the end. Oh, felt it. Okay, so I am just going to measure about how much I need and tear it off and put it on the inside here of the straight flap and rub it. I'm going to do the same thing on this one here, on the other one, on the straight flap. Just tear a piece off and press. And you're going to notice it is a little bit wider. That's okay though, because I can fold that over. I'm going to take my Take Your Pick tool and peel that up. Oh, a little bit more rubbing. You rub it so that it adheres to that paper better. Okay, I'm going to tear that up. And then that little edge that's protruding, I just go and fold it over. Let's do the same thing to this piece. Lift this up. So, did you guys have a great weekend this last weekend? We had so much going on in the area. We had the Air and Water Show downtown in the city. We had the Scrapbook Expo. How many of you spent time watching the Olympics? Oh, what's your favorite? Tell me, what is your favorite event in the Olympics? Let me know. Okay, I'm going to put this one and do the same thing. Just line it up to that score line, making sure it's even, just like that. Now, like I said, I'm going to have the scallop go towards the outside. So all I have to do is move this silicone mat because it doesn't slide very well on my silicone mat. I pull this together. Okay. And then I spread the bottom out because that's going to be my outside. Okay. And it's not sliding very well on my paper either. Usually people are amazed at how fast I do this. Let's go. Come on. Scoochy down. There we go. It's going. Okay. So we have that. We are going to be placing this on here. So what's nice is I can adapt the size of that lolly by how close that center is. So if I want to pull it out a little bit, it'll get a little bit bigger. But for today, I want to go ahead and leave it like that. I am going to put down my ink pad right on top to hold it. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to put some tear and tape. Now the tear and tape is going to hold it for an immediate hold. And I'm just going to put some pieces across here. And then I am using the liquid glue also. The liquid glue is going to be the real strength of this. And I'm going to do this in a triangle. Oh, my computer is doing some scans. So it keeps popping up on my screen. So, oh, yeah. Maggie loves the blends. I know, Maggie. They are just so awesome to work with. And then we're going to lift this up just like that. Let's see. So Maggie says that she finds that it's better to color first, but she does do it both ways. I understand, totally understand the frustration if you color it and spend time coloring and then you cut it and it is not right. Believe me, I understand. Okay, I'm going to take my liquid glue now and I am going to go, oops, well, that's a lot, and just put it around the center here. And what that's going to do is that's going to work its way into the folds, plus hold it onto this white piece of basic white. Now I am going to press it down. It's not perfectly straight, but that's okay, even across there, but I'm okay with it. I'm going to flip it over. Now this is where you can take a scrap piece of paper, and let me see, I happen to have a circle here. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing on the back. I like putting something on the back. You could use a square. Nobody's going to see it. If you didn't want to use the stripes, you could use this leaf pattern on the back. Believe it or not, our card is almost done. But this just helps strengthen the hold of that lolly because they have a tendency sometimes of wanting to fold up. But this way you have some structure on the back and the front of that. Once again, I'm going to take my liquid glue and just put it around here. Press this circle on here. Okay. There we go. I'm just going to put this pad on there just to hold it while I'm working with you all. And we are going to start assembling our card. So let me get these card pieces out. Now this is another thing. Do you like to stamp your sentiments before you put your card together? Or do you trust yourself to go ahead and put it together and then stamp? You know, if you stamp before, you have two sides. If you stamp after, you only have one side and one try. I didn't score my card stacks. I'm going to show you how to score for you, those of you that are newer stampers. We're going to go to the 4 1/4 and just score it in half. And I'm scoring with the light gray blade. That's my scoring. The dark blade is the cutting. How many of you two mix those up? I will admit, I have done so. Okay, so which way do you fold? Mountain in the middle. So this is, you see the line that indents there? That goes on the outside. Just a little bit of a refresher for you. Okay, so I have cut this to be 3 7/8 by 4 inches. And that's because my basic white is 4 by 4. And I just wanted a little bit of a border at the top because the blue blends with the blue. So you decide, you can decide which side you want up, which side you want down. I actually want this orange going up. So I am going to go ahead and be brave and adhere this on here. And go ahead and put that right there. And I eye up those 3 sides just like that. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and stamp our sentiment. So I am going to actually do sending a big hug on the front of my card. So sending a big hug. Because who doesn't love a big hug? Okay. I'll go ahead and put that on here. Now you can decide, do you want your sentiment at the top or the bottom? And I am going to want it at the top on my card. Just stamp it right here, and let's hope that I'm pretty straight with it. And I don't get any lines. Ooh, I got a line, but that's okay. I will fix it. You know, that is an opportunity, right? We all love opportunities. Okay. I am going to go ahead and take my Stampin' Right marker, my black one. I still have my old one. And I'm just going to do 3 dots. 2, 3 dots along there. Okay, let's adhere this to our card front. And I didn't cut a piece for the inside of my card. I do want to put a sentiment on the inside of my card. Let's get this here. I knew I was going to goof up my sentiment. I think because I was getting a little, as we say, cocky. Now, on the background here, I am going to add, wasn't going to, but I think I want to add a little bit of interest. So I'm going to take the Round We Go stamp set and this here, and I am going to use the Versamark pad. The Versamark pad is known as a watermark pad. So if you're not going to see a lot of color with this, but you will definitely see some design. And I'm going, as it dries, you will see more. But I am going to hold it up to the camera and hopefully you will be able to see it. I'm just going to put some of these around the outside. Doesn't have to go all the way around. You could use one of the colors also. I'm going to stamp this right in here. Okay, so it's going to look shiny to you. So can you see that? There we go. Now, as that dries, you will see it more. Okay, I am going to take my lolly and some liquid glue and adhere it on here. And I want the little part of here, just like this. I am going to take my flower base and grass, the stems, and I am just adding glue along the bottom. Don't worry about that because we're going to be adhering flowers on there, and the flowers are going to hold that down. Now, do you see how I'm going above that white there? Let me hold it up. So I'm going above the white. I don't know why my lighting is kind of like a glare today. So we have that. So now we are going to use, for a color pop, our fresh freesia flowers. I told you before, I love purple and orange together. When I was in 4th grade, we made tissue. I know you guys have heard this before, but when I was in 4th grade, we made tissue flowers, and I picked a dark purple and a bright orange for my flowers, and I just love them. And ever since then, purple and orange is just one of my favorite color combinations. Yeah, I have more than one. I have several. Okay, so I'm using our mini dimensionals, and I'm going to pop that right up there. There we go. And this one here. And the flowers are two different sizes. Here we go. Put this one here. That holds that on. Okay, now we have our little mouse. And our little mouse is going to go right down here. So once again, I'm going to use our Stampin' Dimensionals. You could use the regular size dimensionals on this. I am actually going to take a little bit of a strip off the edge because I love using every single little inch of my dimensionals. And oops, perfect. Okay, and we're going to put him down here. So he's down a little bit. So I didn't center my images on that circle. I used that circle as the background and I went above it. So I'm drawing the eye out. And you're beginning to see those pop out there, that Versamark. Okay, I'm going to get a piece of basic white. And trim this down a little bit. I'm going to go to 4 inches on there. And then on the inside, we are going to put, so it's there when you need it. Let me get my stamp. And quite honestly, you guys, when you mount your stamps, you want to try to get a block that isn't too much bigger than your stamp. It just makes it a little bit easier. And I'm going to put it over on this side. And I don't like the way that came out. I should not be stamping on my silicone mat. I wanted to be real careful so that I didn't get any line. Okay, but I'm not pressing even. There we go. I didn't want my head in the camera. Was my head in the camera? So it's there when you need it. I'm going to go ahead and put that here. I'm going to grab one of my other stamp sets and stamp a couple fresh freesia flowers on the inside. Or actually, I could stamp our little starlight thing. So let me get my fresh freesia ink pad. I hope you guys are enjoying this. Let me know what you'd like me to bring you next week. I'll check the comments and try to accommodate you guys. And you know what? I'm going to put one of these up here like that. Oh, you know what? I'm actually going to also put it going off a little bit. I don't like how exact that is on the front of my card. So I am going to stamp it off. And what I did is I used my graph paper as a mask so I don't get any on the balmy blue. Okay, so we need to hide that black line. How are we going to hide that black line? Let me take a look at my embellishments that I have here. And I don't have a fresh freesia one, but I do have Petunia Pop. And Petunia Pop and fresh freesia are similar. They aren't the same color, but they coordinate together. So if I can get this open, we're going to add a couple of these on here. So I'm going for the big one. These are our matte dots. Put one up a little bit. And I'm going to put one down a little bit. So it looks like that black line has a purpose. And that's what we want to do when we take those opportunities. So see, you can tell that that Petunia Pop is not the same color as that fresh freesia, but it looks awesome together, don't they? So I hope you guys enjoyed this card today. And then the inside. And we'll see you guys next week. Until then, everybody, happy stamping.